Hello guys, here I have come with one more new topic which is human female reproductive system. Let's go for it. As we have already done male reproductive system, let's understand the female reproductive system. Okay, so in female one also primary sex organ are ovaries, and the secondary sex organ in this one, first duct system comes. Duct system include fallopian tube, then uterus, then cervix, and last one is vagina. So starting from fallopian tube till vagina, it comes under the duct system. Then next is mammary gland present, vestibular glands, which is also known as Bartholin glands. In competitive exams it comes, this kind of question comes. Now next last one is external genitalia, which is what? Vulva. Okay, so let's understand the first one, ovary. Let's have a look of ovary. You can see over here ovaries, they are 2 in number. Okay, and this whole reproductive system, it is present in the pelvic body or pelvic region. Okay, it is present in the pelvic cavity, or you can say pelvic region. Fine. These ovary, they are oval or almond lined. They are almond like. Okay, these ovary almond like and around 3 centimeter long. They are 3 centimeter long and 1.5 centimeter broad and 1 centimeter thick. So this is the total dimension of ovary. They are present in 2 number. These ovary, they are attached with this fallopian tube, or you can say they are attached with the uterus and the pelvic region. Okay, pelvic body through the filament, which is called ligament. Okay, which is called ligament. You can see over here it is ligament. Okay, so now let's have a look of ovary, structure of ovary in detail. Okay, so the ovary structure is shown here. You can see over here the whole ovary is surrounded by a layer, a thin epithelium layer. It is called germinal epithelium. Okay, it is called germinal epithelium. Now under it you can see the peritoneum is present, and below the second one important layer, it is called tunica albuginea. Okay, so the germinal epithelium, it is the outermost layer, and what it's a role of germinal epithelium? It produce oogonia. Okay, fine. So it produces a large number of oogonia. Now the tunica albuginea, it is having a dense connective tissue. The inner one layer is tunica albuginea. I'll show you here. The inner one layer is tunica albuginea. Okay, so it shows the presence of a large amount of connective tissues, and it provide grayish color to the ovary. Okay, now the third one layer is means what? This tunica albuginea, it cover inside a fluid which is called cortex. Okay, or you can say the inside fluid, it divided into 2 category, cortex and medulla. So outer one is cortex and the middle one or inner one is medulla. Okay, so this outer one, cortex, it is surrounding or present in periphery, and it have a lot of number of ovarian follicles. You can see over here so many type of follicles are present in the cortex region. Okay, now few blood vessels also present, and the innermost portion, can you see this one? This is called medulla, and it is very less amount of connective tissue, but it is having a large amount of blood vessels, smooth vessels, or few nerves also present over here. Okay, so this is the common overview knowledge of that cortex, medulla, and all the linings. Okay, let's have a look what are the structure present in the cortex. Okay, as in cortex, first of all, what happened? Germinal epithelium, it produce large of amount of oogonia, and these oogonia, they are around 2 million in number. Okay, before the birth they are produced in 2 million of number. Now further they undergo various developmental stage, means what? First they undergo the meiosis 1 and produce the primary oocyte. This primary oocyte undergo the development phase, means what? They produce various granular cells around it, and at last they are converted into a follicle which is called primary follicle. Okay, these primary follicle, now at the time of birth they are having these primary follicle, and it is about 60,000 to 80,000 in number. Okay, from 2 million only these one remaining 80,000 of primary follicles are present. Further also during the whole life that these follicles they degenerated at various time, and at last only 450 primary follicles are remaining, which further go for the development and ultimately formation of the female gamete, or I would say the ovum. Okay, so this is the primary follicle. Now these primary follicle, can see over here, they further undergo the development, they make the theca covering around itself and make a few more cells of granulosa cells, and ultimately converted into the secondary follicle. Now this secondary follicle, it also further go for the development. This theca are divided into external and internal theca, and ultimately they form the tertiary follicle. And at last that it is called secondary oocyte. Okay, and at last they make the granulosa cells covering. Inner one is your zona pellucida, secondary oocyte is present, and this secondary oocyte is connected with the granulosa cell by a stalk like structure. It is present like this, is called the cumulus ophorus. It is called the cumulus ophorus. Okay, so these are the structure, and the mature one, this follicle is called the Graafian follicle. This is the mature follicle. After this it will undergo the ovulation phase and will release the ova, and the remaining portion of this Graafian follicle, it is known as corpus luteum. It is known as corpus luteum, and after corpus luteum also degenerated, and ultimately it formed the corpus albicans. See, so these are structure, it is shown in the figure of this ovary. Okay, so this is the overview of ovary. Okay, so now after the structure of ovary, now the next structure which attach with it or which continue, it is the fallopian tube. It is the fallopian tube. You can see over here. Let's have a look of this fallopian tube. I'll show you the picture of fallopian tube. The first one portion of fallopian tube, it is funnel like. Can you see? It is funnel like, and it is what, having a finger like projection, so when from ovary, ova is released from by the process of ovulation, these are called fimbriae. They are responsible for catching the ova. It just catch the ova. Okay, and it goes through the infundibulum. If we'll go for the structure of this whole fallopian tube, so the innermost, I'll show you, this lining has three layer. Okay, so the innermost, it is called mucosa. Okay, it form the lumen. Actually this one is lumen, innermost portion is lumen, so it is making the luminal surface. It is responsible for create some current inside the lumen. Because of that ova which is released, they are easy to move till the uterus. Okay, now the second layer is muscularis. It is muscularis. Okay, this muscularis, it is having smooth muscles. Okay, this is having smooth muscle which is responsible for the wave of contraction. When because of this contraction, what happened, the ova, it moves towards the uterus. And the third one is serosa. Okay, this serosa, it is the outermost layer. Means what? It is what? 1 minute. It is this outermost layer. It is form of visceral peritoneum. Okay, now the first portion, as I told you, infundibulum, it has the inner portion, it is called ostium. Okay, central pore is called the ostium, or fimbria, it catches the ovum and releases into the infundibulum. Now the next portion is ampulla. Now this ova, it will move towards the ampullary region, which is a little bit wider portion. Okay, and here ampulla, further structure of ampulla is isthmus. Okay, this one structure is called isthmus. Okay, now in between ampulla and isthmus, there is a region, it is called ampullary isthmic region. Okay, it is called ampullary isthmic region. So actually fertilization takes place at this position. Okay, make it remember. It is asked so many time in exam. It may ask in as a MCQs that in which region fertilization occur. It is occur in ampullary isthmic region, means the middle word portion of ampulla and isthmic. Okay, and the last one portion is your uterine part, which connect with the utra, or you can say this part connect the fallopian tube with the uterus. Okay, so this is the structure of fallopian tube. This is the structure of fallopian. Okay, okay, so now the next after the fallopian tube, next part arise. It is what? 1 minute. It is what? That uterus part. It is the uterus part. The uterus, it is a pear shape. It is pear shape and it is a muscular structure, and it is also hang or present in the pelvic wall with the help of these ligaments. You can see these yellow one, these are ligaments. Okay, and uterus, it is responsible, or it is a place or specialized for anchoring and nourishing the developing fetus. Actually fetus develop in this portion of uterus. Okay, so this uterus, it has three covering. This uterus has three covering. The outermost covering, it is called perimetrium. It is shown here. 1 minute, I'll show you the enlarged view of it. Yes, so can you see this one? Yes, so the outermost is perimetrium. It is the membranous perimetrium. Okay, membranous. Now the inner one is the middle one portion. It is called the myometrium. It is called the myometrium. Here they have a large amount of smooth muscles. Actually whatever the contraction arise in the uterus is only because of the myometrium. It has the smooth muscles. And the innermost layer, you can see this one bulging, that innermost layer is called the endometrium layer. Okay, which line the uterine cavity, and this endometrial layer, it is glandular. Okay, so many glands are present here. Okay, so this is the structure of a uterus. Now from uterus, it is continuing with the next structure, that is called cervix. Okay, yes, one more thing is also there, that due to this contraction of smooth muscles, it is responsible for expulsion of the baby. Okay, during pasteurization. These terms we will talk about later on. So next structure that is arise, that is vagina. Through the cervix, it is connected with the vagina. It is also known as the outermost opening is known as vaginal orifice. Vaginal orifice. Okay, it is also a muscular tube like structure, fine, that open to outside with the structure which is called vestibule. This opening structure, I mean like where this opening is present, it's called the vestibule. Okay, and through cervix, the whole these structure are called vaginal fold. Okay, now these vagina and the cervix, they make a structure which is called the birth canal, which is called the birth canal. Okay, so if I'll ask what is the function of this vagina for the reproductive system, so what it do, it receive the male gamete. It receive the male gamete during the insemination. That is the first function. And what is the second function? It serves as a birth canal. Okay, during the pasteurization, because through this only the fetus comes out. Through this only the fetus is come out. Yes, one more structure is remaining, that this vaginal opening is covered by a membrane which is called the hymen. Which is called the hymen. This hymen get broke down during vigorous exercise, cycling. Okay, earlier it was thought that it shows the presence of hymen shows the virginity, but later on it was found that it also break down due to some another activities. So it does not show, or it does not tell us the virginity. Okay, fine. So this is the structure of vagina. So I think till here you all are very much clear. Now have a look of next structure, that is external genitalia, which is called vulva. Okay, this external genitalia, I'll show you the picture of it. Okay, so this is the picture of genitalia. Now the first portion is mons pubis. 1 minute. Yes, so the first portion is mons pubis. Okay, this mons pubis, it is a cushion like fatty tissue and it is covering by the skin and the hair like structure which are called pubic hair. So you can see this mons pubis. Below the mons pubis or it mons pubis continue downwards as a labia majora. Labia majora. This labia majora, they are present in one pair. Okay, this light pink color, can you see this labia majora? It is 1 2 in number, or you can say one pair. Fine, it is the thicker folds of tissues. Fine, and it surround the vaginal opening. See, this is the vagina, so it is surrounding this vaginal opening. One more thing is present over here, a gland which is called sebaceous gland, so this sebaceous gland is present in the labia majora. Now below the labia majora there is a small folding of tissue that is also present in one pair. The dark pink, can you see? This is labia minora. It also surround the vaginal opening. Okay, it also surround the vaginal opening. These labia majora, it enclose a space which is called vestibule. Okay, in vestibule you have two opening. In vestibule there's two opening. One is urethral opening and the second one is vaginal opening. Okay, in vestibule two openings is there. Okay, now the next structure is clitoris. Okay, here it is a clitoris. Fine, it is also finger like, sensitive and erectile. Okay, it is sensitive and erectile structure which is present below the mons pubis. Okay, you can see this is the mons pubis and below it this clitoris structure is present, and it is present at the anterior. See, this is whole the vestibule, and anterior portion this clitoris is present. Okay, and it also present at the upper junction of two labia minora. Can you see the labia minora? This one. So it is present at the upper junction of labia minora. Now the next structure is hymen. Okay, this hymen, it covers this vaginal opening. Okay, it covers it, and it rupture, as I told you, due to vigorous physical activities or during the first coitus or due to cycling, all that. Now the last one structure is vestibule. Yes, this is the structure vestibule. Okay, it is containing, as I told you, it is containing two opening, the urethral opening and the vaginal opening. Okay, fine. So these are the different parts present in the vulva region. Okay, so I hope so that you all have got it, the structure of female reproductive system. And if you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe it, and you can also press the bell icon so that you will get the new notification. Okay, so thank you so much all of you.